Okay, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for years now, and I've noticed something. You can usually tell what kind of a player someone is by the class that they choose. So, me and Professor Nutmeg have been conducting a completely scientific investigation into this phenomenon. And by scientific investigation, I mean we've been judging people. And after extensive research, we've reached a few conclusions. So, first of all, every barbarian I've ever met has fallen into one of two categories. Either you're basically a golden retriever with an axe, or you are the reason taverns have security deposits. There is absolutely no middle ground. The thing I've noticed about barbarians is that you all claim to love roleplay. And I of course believe you, right up until the point that we roll initiative. Because the second combat starts, something changes. The rest of the party is discussing tactics. The wizard's reviewing spells, Eric is making sure everyone survives, and the barbarian is already halfway across the room. Because you don't hear "this looks dangerous" as a warning. You hear it as a challenge. And if there happens to be a wall between you and that challenge, well, that's the wall's problem. Now for bards. I don't think that bards actually flirt with everything. I think that that is a harmful stereotype, and it's unfair. You do flirt with most things. But the thing with bards is that you just do things with a lot more confidence than the rest of us. The DM presents a problem. The rogue wants to sneak around it, the barbarian wants to fight it, the wizard is preparing tactics, but the bard thinks they can talk to it. Sometimes the thing is a villain. Sometimes the thing is a dragon. Sometimes the thing is a door. Somehow, it always seems to work. Now, clerics. Every cleric starts out wanting to be the wise, holy hero. And then the campaign begins. And then 3 sessions later, you're suddenly the exhausted parent of the group. The barbarian is unconscious again. The rogue has done something illegal. The bard is trying to date the plot. And somehow, you're expected to fix all of it. The thing nobody tells you about playing a cleric is that eventually you learn a terrible truth. Healing your friends encourages their bad behavior. The barbarian hurts themselves. You heal the barbarian. The barbarian immediately does the same thing again. You heal them again. At some point, you're not healing people. You're helping fund their bad decisions. Druids. Now, I myself like to play a druid, so druid players always tell me that they want to play a druid because they can become a giant bear, summon storms, or wield the power of nature. And then I watch them play. And within 20 minutes, they're trying to adopt something. Every single time. I'm sorry, Professor Nutmeg. Anyway, every single time. The party is trying to defeat something evil. The druid is making sure that the fox is okay. The DM casually mentions a cool mushroom. Congratulations, the campaign is now about that mushroom. Druid players don't get distracted because they're unfocused. They get distracted because they genuinely care about everything, which is really wholesome. Until the party has spent 40 minutes discussing a squirrel fighter. I genuinely respect fighters, because while everyone else is trying to build the most optimized character imaginable, you've looked at 400 different character options and just said, nah, sword. And while the rest of the party is combining spells, planning combos, reading guides, the fighter is already rolling initiative. And the annoying thing is, it works Every single campaign eventually reaches a moment where somebody says, "We need a plan." And the fighter says, "What if I hit it?" And far more often than I'd like to admit, that ends up being the correct answer. Rogues. Rogues don't actually care about treasure. They care about access. The second the DM describes a locked chest, your brain goes, "Well, now I need to know what's in there." It could contain gold, it could contain a legendary artifact, it could contain 3 copper pieces and a moldy piece of bread. Doesn't matter. You're opening it. And if the DM describes a door you aren't supposed to enter, congratulations, that's now the most important door in the campaign. Honestly, rogue players treat every boundary like a suggestion. And because of that, most of the plot happens because of you. So thank you, rogue players out there. Sorcerer. Sorcerers don't really have plans. They have confidence. Sometimes justified confidence, usually not. A wizard spends years studying magic. A sorcerer just wakes up one morning and discovers they can shoot lightning out of their hands. I don't know what that was, some sort of Spider-Man. Now, yeah. And then they immediately decide that they're qualified to make decisions. And you don't care how big the room is. You cast Fireball. You don't care if your allies are nearby. You cast Fireball. You don't care if there is a better solution. You, stay with me folks, cast Fireball. Fighter is on fire. The rogue is on fire. The carpet is on fire. Somehow, you're the only one not on fire, and you're still not convinced you did something wrong. Wizard. Wizard players are constantly trying to play a completely different game than everyone else. You spend hours preparing, researching, organizing. You're prepared for political intrigue. The rogue started a bar fight. You're prepared for undead. The party adopted a goblin. You prepared an elaborate strategy. The fighter kicked the door in. Wizard players are trying to play chess, and the party is eating all of the pieces. And despite all of that, you're still preparing for next week's strategy. And honestly, I respect that. And there you have it. The official findings of the Mushroom Tower by me. Professor Nutmeg insists that this research was completely unbiased. We reviewed the evidence. That was a lie. Tell me your class in the comments below and which one I got completely wrong, because next time we're investigating the remaining classes, which is unfortunate because that means we have to discuss the Warlock. Good luck out there, adventurers. See you next time. Bye.